Hello everybody, welcome back to Labz. Today we have been challenged with the question of what is the best way to get the most experience and which way is the best way to upgrade. This challenge, I will display who it's from because right now I do not have my notes in front of me because I am a very prepared YouTuber. That's how it usually works. But I will put that up there, but I was asked which one of these is the best way to do the upgrading. So we have got all of the ways that I could think of. Now please do remember that whenever you use something like this, hang on, let me get these and do this really quick. That immediately goes up to reinforced. Whereas if you're using these, you have to take it to the regular wood frame, which is what this starts out as. Then you get the reinforced wood. So there are some exceptions to this rule, and I'm pretty sure we're going to find out as we go from one to the other that this information is kind of repetitive, which is the reason why I'm going to shoot me doing the exercise or the test, and then I'm going to pause, probably wait until tomorrow to finish this up, because I have a feeling that, and this is the reason why I put it over in the car section, it's going to require a lot of math, and I would rather do that not recording, because I don't math good in my head. I write it out on paper, or I use my fingers. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to drop these, because I've got all of the tools and everything I need set up here already. Some things I would like to point out is... Alright, in order to use the wood frame, you have got 6 upgrades to steel. In order to use the cobblestone, right here, it is 4 upgrades to steel. Whenever you use your iron frames, which have to be made in the forge, it is 5 upgrades to steel. Whenever you use the wet cement blocks, it is 2 upgrades to steel. And of course, we have the iron frames, which are also 2 upgrades to steel. So, I have also, in order, put the list of how much these particular things are. This is just 2 wood to make. Just a frame, 2 wood, and the item cost on this is 4 clay, 4 stone. So a bit more expensive. And in order to upgrade, it requires some different type of stuff too, but we're going to get into that. Item cost is 18 iron and 5 clay for this frame. And for the wet cement, we have 10 sand and 120 stone after you get done with the process it takes to get it from forge to this, and then make the block. You know what I'm saying? And then the rebar frame, it takes 6 iron and 5 clay. Now that just makes the frame, not the reinforced part that is actually another step. One thing I would like to note is this particular block, and this particular block all have something in common. They are blocks that can be set down and picked back up without having to break them. If you set down the cobblestone or the wet cement, you better hope it's in the right place, and usually it's not, which is the reason why if I'm going to build in something that's a little bit stronger than wood, I always go for this one instead of reinforcing from here to there and up. Well, actually, this doesn't hit that step, but you know what I'm saying. I don't really care for using anything but either wood or this in case I mess it up. Now the good news is this, you can pick it up. So that's one reason for this one to be okay. This one, I can't see using wet concrete if you have another option, because after you set it down, it is pretty solid and it's got a lot of health. All the way up to steel. Now the issue is in order to get all of these up to steel, we have to go through the wet concrete phase, which is a pain in the butt. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to wait and reinforce all the way to steel. We're going to find out how much experience we have, and basically I'm going to go back and watch my own footage and do all of the math, and then put all the information together. I have got all steps in here, which I'm only going to need to concrete to do this one, and then I can drop all of this stuff back inside these cases. Hang on. I thought I saw something that wasn't even. Anyway, the forged iron goes up to 500, the concrete mix goes to 1,000, and then 1,000 cobblestone rocks, and we got 6,000 wood. That way, whenever I drop them back in here, I can see exactly how much I used of everything in order to upgrade these to where they're supposed to go. So, let's just do these and make sure I can actually see the information coming up. Now, it's interesting, you don't go into this phase. You go past this phase into the cobblestone. Okay, now we're going to have to wait on that, so we're going to drop those in that box, and we're going to do this one. 2 steps till we're wet again. There we go. And moving on. And I don't know why I have 2 stacks in here. That does not belong in here. Okay, then we're going to upgrade to this one. This one has a few different layers. You actually need a different type of material in there, which is kind of unusual, but moving on. Then we've got this one, and of course we only have the one phase before we're going to wind up with the wet concrete. And then, of course, this one, which I can't do the steel, so I might as well leave that there. Okay, now I find something to do while I wait for these to dry. Go back over here and finish up the assessment of all of these. Okay, I don't have anything extra. I still have the ladders, but that's not actually a part of the test, so it's not going to matter. I need to wait for this one to get done. That way I know I'm doing them in order. So why are you taking so much longer to dry? You were the first one I did. That's interesting. Now, the thing to note, obviously, is these guys still have to go to reinforced concrete. These guys can go straight into steel. There it goes, there it goes. That one has to get wet again. This one. Oh, I just realized I might be having some issues because... There we go. Make sure the stuff actually takes off the screen. I hope that doesn't mess up my math later on. Okay, that one has to be reinforced one more time. And this one goes straight to steel. There we go. Now, these two are at steel. I've got 490 here. 490 here, I've got 990 there, 980, so this actually took more concrete than the other one did. But then again, this one actually took concrete to make it. This one did not, so I guess that kind of explains that. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and play with the ladder again. That's not what I meant to do either. Sir, you better not be breaking anything over here. Stop that. Okay. Now I can focus. Okay, now... Can Thick still not use this? Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Wait. Stop. Dude, stop. Oh jeez. No. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh jeez. I gotta test this. Where do I test this at? Okay, I don't know what was going on. I was hitting the buttons in the wrong order. My fingers were excited. I didn't actually get a chance to see it, sir. You immediately saw me. I need to be on this side so I can actually see what's going on. Nope, you actually didn't slow down. Why were you slowing down before? What if I encouraged you to move closer to the ladder? Okay, too much. If I can force him to use the ladder side... It also might be because there's not a ladder on both top and bottom. That. Okay, now how do you force them inside? If I force them closer without taking up the path so that they have to beat it. Something that doesn't take the entire path. Okay, let's try this first, one thing at a time. No, because you're not actually trying to climb it at all. Yeah, you looked very excited about that. Ah, it was so close. It's so close. I feel like if you can force them to feel like they have to partially claim it. Well, you're stuck. Did I? Oh, it's the... Hang on. There you go. Okay. Not. Stop that. Get that health back. I didn't actually get a chance to see when I was trying to test. Oh, boy. Let's try that again. You stayed on it. You stayed on it too. Which is weird because you're not supposed to do horizontals, but you stayed on it. And it does slow you down. Okay, so... Okay, so basically you have to get them to get up on one of them. And it's like the path, a straight path. Even though they're not supposed to be able to do a horizontal, they did one. How do the dogs interact with this? No, I will not bring you in because I will see you in the game, madam. I need the doggies. You should definitely see this as a pathway. That's weird. Is it because the ladder is in your way, you cannot see this as a pathway? Okay, hang on. Let's put you right there. Whoops! Well, I actually have to do the test first. My bad. It's because you can't path the ladder. Well, that's one way to stop the dogs from coming this way. Okay. Let's get a few of you guys. You are all slowed down. Interesting. I don't see that lasting through a bad thing. Let's try... Okay, what about you? Why are you doing that? Sorry, you should be able to... Can you not path ladders either? You should definitely be able to path ladders. Do you not path ladders? Is the dog in your way? Sir, stop that, you dumb! Seriously, do you not path ladders? Can you... Okay, you can definitely path the ladder. So... what the hell were you doing? I don't know what you were doing, sir. I don't even think you know what you were doing. Let's go back over here and do the actual test. Like, just, I happen to pluck the one dumb white out of the entire group, pluck him onto the field of battle and say, here, perform. And he's like, what are thumbs? Okay, now we're at concrete on all of these. Let us, first off, make sure that we have nothing in here that does not belong. Okay, and it should just be a matter of going to this. Thank you. These daggum hitboxes! Okay, and oh, those are already done. Okay, so just really quick, I'm gonna look through the boxes and see how much we have in each one of these. The hitbox on that is so weird. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. It is the next day. I have done all of the maths, and I have done several tests to make sure that all of my maths were correct. The main question was, which one of these upgrading methods actually gives you the most experience? I was surprised, because it wasn't the one I was expecting it to be. But we're just going to kind of mosey between here. Let me do these so I can kind of bounce up here. Okay, with the wood frame, it takes 846 experience. You will get 846 experience going from this all the way to this. That's how many you'll get. And then the flagstone, you will get 984 going from this all the way to this. With the iron frame, you get 1320, yep, 1320 going from the iron all the way up to steel. From the wet concrete, you get 600, only 600 when you go from the wet concrete up to this. And the rebar frame, you get 840 experience going from these to these. Now, why I am not really sure. I don't know why this varies so much. Maybe it has to do with the amount of experience you're actually going to gain from making it. Like, you're only having to collect the wood, and then you gotta get the stone, and you gotta get the clay, and I don't know exactly how. These numbers do actually take into account if you get, what was it, 2 experience for the wood frame, and here you get like 24 experience whenever you make the cobblestone and then you make the flagstone. So I included those in there. In these, they go into the forge, and it does not give you experience by manufacturing things out of the forge or the cement mixer, which I was actually surprised about because I thought somehow or another you did. But I assume if you make these inside your workbench, you're still not going to get the experience either. So it really doesn't factor in, except for these two. Normally people make them in their pocket. Well, these I usually have them making on the workbench, but these I'll make in my pocket, so that kind of makes sense. But these all have to be made inside something else. You can't make those in your pocket. But if you're looking for the most overall experience, you're going to have to upgrade from the iron frame. Now, the iron frame, to make the actual frame, is 18 iron and 5 clay. It's a little on the steep side, especially early game, and you have to have the forge. But in order to upgrade from this to the concrete, which is the first one, you just have to have scrap iron. You don't have to have the reinforced iron, not the reinforced iron, but the iron ingots, or whatever you want to call them. You don't need those, it's just scrap iron. So it's not that hard to come by. And how much health do these have? Let's see. Hit points, 100. Hit points, 50. Hit points, 25. Hit points, 50. So 50, 100, 50. It's actually bare minimum. Only frame has more hit points than the other frames. Plus, it's a thing that you can pick up. So, okay, now there is something to note. Whenever you're going from cement to reinforced cement, it's always 240. Always 240 experience. When you're going from the reinforced cement up to steel, I don't know why my mind's going blank, guys. When you're going from reinforced all the way up to steel, it's always 360. So for the one-time upgrade, this is the most lucrative right here, going from reinforced up to steel. Or even reinforcing and then steel. So that's 600 right there. Which basically you can see that right here, it's 600. So that's the most lucrative, but if you're actually looking for the most you're going to get, the most bang for your buck, and it might take a little bit extra, you'll get 1320 per block you upgrade all the way up to steel. Now, we went over what was inside our containers. To go from wood all the way up to steel, I used this much. There was 6,000 here. There was, what was it, 1,000? Yeah, it's 1,000. There was 1,000 here, so it was only 10. 20 of those, 10 of those, so it's pretty much the same across the board on the steel. It takes 10 in general. The supplies weren't really... The supply didn't change that much. I mean, to be honest with you, this was the most unique one because you actually have to have the iron. And to be honest with you, it's not really that much iron. It was 70 iron. Now you have the 18 iron and the 70 iron, you know, like a nearly 100. Nearly 100, not even quite that. And then you're actually going to get more experience out of it. So technically, if you're breaking things down as you're rating a POI, you can get that much iron. If you're digging a moat, you're going to have plenty of clay. Now, iron is useful in a lot of other things, so to be honest with you, I don't know which one to tell you is going to be the easiest out of all of these. I can tell you which one is the ways that I choose, and I typically choose this way. Now that I look at it, it's not really the best way. I mean, it's a pretty good amount of experience. It's alright. It's nearly up there with the iron frame, but these two are the biggest waste of experience, especially the wet concrete. This is horrible. The wet concrete is just a horrible amount of experience for all the stuff that you put into it, to be honest with you. It's like it's skipping so many steps, it's just really not going to give you the experience for it. So, the best two ways I can think of are these, and honestly, the wood. I mean, those two don't really give you that much experience, guys. I don't know. I would have to say, yeah, I never use this frame. I never use it. But to be honest with you, there's a lot of stuff inside this frame. Like the pillar caps, I don't even know what this is. What is this? What is this? Ah, it's the T-form. Okay, okay. But the iron frame has got so many different shapes that you can't really get in other ones. Like this one, you can only find those in the wet cement, but they're actual full-on size. You can't really get those in anything else. But there's a lot of shapes in here, so, I mean, I guess the iron frame is good. It just takes some time to go through the forge. How long does it take to go through the forge, though? I have no clue. So you need 18. That's pretty fast. It'll take just a couple of minutes. I guess it would all make a difference on... See, even the rebar frame is cheaper. But the rebar frame, you don't get as many shapes. $18 and $5, $6 and $1. Why is it easier to make a rebar frame block than it is to make an iron frame block? I don't get that. But, okay, and then it takes 10 seconds, whereas rebar takes 3 seconds. Huh. It has more horizontal support, it's got more hit points as just a basic frame. Huh. Why does an iron sheet take 50? That doesn't make any sense. Hold on, wait. Can you... I don't guess so. I was going to say, can't you make a sheet with these? But no, you can't. Alright guys, I do not really know what to tell you as far as this goes. I've actually been studying this for a little while, and the stats are pretty clear on which one gives you the most experience. Now, if you use like the goggles that give you more experience, the crafting stuff that allows you to craft it faster, if you take any perks that allow you to craft them cheaper, well, all in all, the experience is not going to change in the fact that it's still going to give you the most experience. You might get 10% more because of one thing, or you might get 5% more because of another thing that you take, like the learning elixir or whatever. But base stats, because my character is not wearing anything to help that. She hasn't got any perks for it or nothing. This one is going to be the most bang for your buck. 1320 per block upgraded, whereas this one only gives you 840. That's interesting. This is not actually the result I was expecting. I was actually expecting this to give you the most because you're going through the most groups in order to get to it, but this one's a little bit more on the expensive side. It's easier to upgrade wood and then the cobblestone, but the iron, I guess with the investment of, I guess maybe because the investment of iron is going to give you a bit more experience. I'm not really sure, and you also take into account that you have to harvest the wood, you have to harvest the rocks, you have to harvest the iron, the whole 9 yards, so you're going to get experience differently there, so maybe there's something to be said about why this one gives you more experience. Maybe you get less experience from harvesting iron, which I don't think is true, because I only got like 2 experience from harvesting wood. So I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why this one is the best one. I'm surprised, guys. I really don't know what to tell you. I was not expecting that, but it's good to know. Maybe I'll start using those frames a bit more often. Out of curiosity, on each step of this, that's the frame. Then you get this. Wish there was a way I could damage it without actually damaging it. I want to see, pick. Okay. So from steel to reinforce, there's like it goes through the full health of steel, then it goes down to reinforce, and then it goes through the full health of the reinforced. In this case, the iron does that. You have the iron, and then you have the reinforced iron, and you have to go down through 1,000, so it's technically got 2,000 hit points, though the zombies are going to see that as something that actually has 1,000 hit points, because it's not going to recognize that it downgrades. And does this go down to frame, or does it break? It goes down to frame. So it's got another hit point, 2,200 hit points with that block. So low grade, you're not actually doing all that bad, because if you take iron, if you take these, you get that, and that's barely got any hit points right here. 225, not a whole lot. Then you go to there, and it's got 225 again, not a whole lot. Then you go to flagstone, which this does skip the, it goes to cobblestone, because it does skip the flagstone phase, and that's got 1,500. So this is a better deal as far as hit points and experience. Why haven't I been using this frame? I guess until I did this test, I would not have realized that this was a thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was the conclusion of the test. I'm going to come back to playing around with the zombies with the ladders again, because I am interested in this whole concept of trying to get them to slow down. It used to be you could use the barbed wire fences that they no longer have for us to play with. You used to be able to use those to slow zombies down. It'd be interesting to find another way that is not mechanical, like we've got the electric fences. But if there's a way of slowing them down another way. Water is not reliable, but maybe the ladders could be. Anyway, that could be the next test. I'll see you next time. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye!